Here is your water, Mr. Thomas. It has been shaken, not stirred.
This is stirred, not shaken. Okay, so I just got back from my midnight, day early IMAX screening of Skyfall, and lot of hype going in for this film. Daniel Craig did just Casino Royale, great entry movie for Daniel Craig. Quantum of Solace didn't really do as well, and now the big question is that does Skyfall bring it back to just the heights of Casino Royale? And to be honest, I gotta say, yes, it does, but in a completely different way. Whereas that movie was just gritty and just fresh and just gritty, Skyfall wants to be as good, but in a totally different way by mixing the grit with some of the silliness and just, yeah, cheesiness of the older films. So once again, Daniel Craig is James Bond, and this time he is going up against Javier Bardem, who has a huge grudge against M, once again played by Judi Dench. And in this movie, M does get like a lot more screen time. Like, she is as cold as ever and just a lot more vulnerable in this. And Javier Bardem played a very effective villain that, again, is kind of like a throwback to just like the older, I don't want to say sillier, but just more eccentric, that there's a word, eccentric villains. He's not the kind of guy I would like to have particularly close to me, especially if I'm tied to a chair. You also have some new supporting actors coming into this film. Rafe Fiennes, my mistake, comes in as someone named Gareth Mallory. I can't tell you too much about his role in the movie without spoiling. And you also have Naomi Harris as someone that, if you don't know her name already, I probably shouldn't say because the movie doesn't even tell you until the end. Q is in this film. Bond does get a few gadgets, but of course, nothing like exploding pens. Sam Mendes directs this one, and he does just such a bang-up job with it. Like, this movie looks good. Him and his cinematographer, they were just like this. They were like of the same mind. Like, this movie is shot so precisely, just things that they do with color, and just from a technical standpoint, the movie looks close to perfect. Like, it is just so stylized, and from a technical aspect, the movie is just like, from the score to just the look of the film to just the effects, like, it looks really expensive. Like, I'm curious to see what the budget of this was. Like, this is like definitely north of 200 million. But yeah, I would recommend Skyfall for those who are kind of just like, I don't like the grittiness, I miss the silly stuff. Like, this is a little of that, and they make a lot of this. If I were to have any complaints against the movie, though, it's that the story itself is the weakest element, not necessarily the script or just like the pacing. It's just the story itself is rather simplistic, and that's not really a bad thing. It's just you're taking like a simplistic plot, but you're also stretching it to be about 2.5 hours, and it just, I don't want to say the movie was too long, it just could have been shorter. So overall, I am going to give Skyfall a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a very effective film. I might not have liked it as much as I did Casino Royale, but this is definitely better than Quantum of Solace. And I actually would recommend seeing this in IMAX, because not even just for just the visuals, but just sound. Like, there were times where just like the theater was just shaking because just an action scene was just so loud, and even as the scene was just over, like, the theater is just still, like, you're still feeling the effects of what you just saw, and it was just like, wow. Of course, I'm not one to always go to the movies alone, so I'm going to show you some of the opinions of my friends that I went with, and they had a bit of a dispute before the movie, so some of that kind of carried onto what I filmed. So Just ignore it. You'll see what I mean.
Come on, 100 people that might watch this want to know what you think.
Opinion.
It was okay. I slept through like a third of it. So, but the parts I did see was pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
not your
see
ideal
but
midnight
not
movie.
I'd go see it, but not when you're sleepy because it's a 2.5 hour movie. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, Daniel Craig's better than Pierce Brosnan as a Bond. He's just a better actor. And the new Bonds are grittier, which I like, and this one was grittier. And it had a better plot with like 3 actual acts, unlike shitty Quantum of Solace. Kick your ass.
This was just
And it started out at a low point, which was cool. I'm trying. Joy. I don't like happy movies. And there was a cool ending.
It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
No, because
I haven't seen the other Bonds though, so I don't know if my opinion matters.
they want to know. They want to know.
Good movie.
Oh,
Makes me want to see the other Bonds. So.
it is.
And if you like this review and you want to see more, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it.